Hi, Davi here, and welcome to this video. We will be looking at how to extract custom text files from a database. Now, using Linx 5, which you can download from linx.software, we'll start a new solution and call this text from a database. The database we'll be using is the normal Northwinds database from Microsoft, and the process we can then call customer transactions. We can then also add an input for our process. We'll call this customer ID so that we can get a specific customer and extract the transactions for that customer from the database. Now, if you look at the database, you'll see it's a Northwind, and we'll be using the customer, order details, and employee tables of this database. And the template we want to use is a normal text file. And in our text file, we want to use a customer ID, company name, the customer name, the address, and the city, and in our transaction header with a list of transactions that will flow from there. An easy way to then populate this template is to change all of the fields we want to change to parameters. So it's brackets from 0 and 1, 2, 3, 4. And this will allow Linx to easily find and replace these values within the text template. The template will be split in two, so for the transaction part we can start from 0 again with our numbering. To make all of our columns fit nicely below each other, we'll be using the padding function in Linx, but I'll show more about that a bit later. Okay, so that's our template, and we can then copy the first part into Linx and start building our process. We'll start with a string object and call it header template. And we just then paste our template into the text for the string, and inside of the string we just add an enter on the last line so that our transaction starts on a new line. The next string then is transaction template, and again we will just copy and paste the template into the string. The next step then is to get our customer details and then fill up our header with the customer details. So first we'll use an execute SQL component. We'll call it get customer. We need to set a connection string. I'm just pasting one I've already got, and then we can edit our SQL. Then we start with select star from customer, where the customer ID equals our input. Okay, we only want specific fields, and those are customer ID, company name, contact name, address, and city. Okay, let's test our query. And there's an error on the table. It's called customers, not customer. So we just need to add an S to customer. And we can test with an ID, and we can see the results. Now that we've got our customer, we need to populate our header template into the file. So we'll use text file write, and we'll call this a save file. Now the first thing we need to set is the path. I'm just going to use my documents, and I'm going to call this test.txt. Okay, save. Okay, and then we need to add the contents into the file. And we'll use the expression editor, the header template, and we want to use the function called format with. Now format with will change all of these parameters to the different values that we get from a database. So it's customer ID, comma, the company name, comma, the contact name, comma, the address, and then lastly we add city as well. And just need to add a comma there. Okay, and that is our header. What I'm also going to do is, if the file exists, I'm going to increment the file so we don't overwrite any files. The next step then would be to get the transactions. So let's call this get transactions. I'm going to use the same connection string as I've got in my previous one. I'm just going to copy and paste it. And then an SQL. I've already got a script. I'm just going to copy and paste this. This gives me all of the values that we need. Paste this in there, and then our customer ID that we want to use is the same as the one we got from our customer, so we just drag that over. Let's test this with one of our customers, and there you can see all of the transactions for this customer. Now I did make a mistake with my transaction template. I added a 3 instead of a 2, so let's just go into the text quickly and change the 3 to a 2. Okay, and again we want to save to a file, so another text right, and we'll call this the save transaction. The file path needs to be the same as the save file, so we just click on save file and we'll use the same path. And then the contents under expression editor, we'll use our template and we'll replace it using format with. And we want firstly the date. Now the date format needs to be specific, so we can say toString and add the correct date format there. And just delete this part we don't need. And then to fit all of these columns together, we'll use pad right, and I counted there's about 14 spaces that we need. Then the next one is we need to add our amount, and we also need to add a dollar sign in front of it. So let's just add dollar plus, and then behind the brackets we need to add our pad right, and this one also needs 14 spaces. And then lastly, we just need to add our employee. So it's comma and we drag the employee over. And that's that. And we'll add a space behind it. Okay. Now let's test our solution. We'll add one of our codes in here and run the solution. As we run the solution, you'll see that our values are filled in and saved onto the file. And then if we open up the file, under test, you'll see we've got our customer details and we've got all of our transactions as well. And that's how easy it is to extract custom data and save it in any format using Linx 5. So please let us know if there are any questions on the community and we will answer them for you.